Okay, this is lesson 2, part 2, and we're going to be looking at problems involving the SOHCAHTOA fractions or equations. So sine, unknown angle, you need opposite over hypotenuse, cosine, adjacent over hypotenuse, and tan is opposite over adjacent. Make sure you have those written down. All right. Solve for the length of side X. Okay, so again, they're not going to use A, B, and C to match any of our equations. Okay, they're going to be, you have to think opposite, hypotenuse, and adjacent. So first things first, let's find the hypotenuse right here. Across from the angle is opposite, and the other side would be adjacent, but we don't need to label it because we already have enough pieces. The unknown is opposite, hypotenuse is 2.8, and the angle is 27. We are using sine. Okay. Now, I'm going to replace the angle with 27, opposite with x, hypotenuse with 2.8. Okay. In a scenario like this, we are going to multiply both sides by 2.8 because we got to get that fraction out of there so we can solve for x, and then 2.8 ends up here. Okay. Now, 2.8 times sine 27. So that's what that means. If you want to leave that multiply symbol in between, you can, but it's pretty common practice for there not to be anything there. The multiply symbol gets confused for the variable symbol x. Okay, and you go 2.8 sine 27 in your calculator. You can just punch it in all at once, and you should get the right side length. So I'll go 2.8 sine 27, and I got 1.27, so 1.3 centimeters. Okay, check your answer. Does it make logical sense? Yeah, hypotenuse should be bigger. Looks like it's in the right area. Okay. Next equation. First, check. Is it a right angle triangle? Yes. We got 90 degree. I got hypotenuse. There's nothing there though. Okay. There's my angle. So this is opposite. And then our unknown is adjacent. Okay. So the two that we have are opposite and adjacent. So we are using tan. And replace anything with known values. So theta gets replaced with 41. Opposite is 20.2. And adjacent is x. Okay, this is going to be a multi-step. So first of all, to solve for x, we got to get it out of there. So we're going to multiply. So that's what I'm doing with the dot, just so it doesn't look like a double x. And then x up here. These are gone. And now you have x tan 41 equals 20.2. Okay, from here, we have to get rid of that tan 41. and it's being multiplied to the x, so we have to do the opposite operation to both sides, which is division. So tan 41, and do this to this side. So x equals 20.2 divided by tan 41. So 20.2 divided by tan 41. And we'll go to one decimal place. I got 23.2 millimeters. And if I check, yeah, that looks like a pretty reasonable answer. The opposite side's 20.2. Yeah, looks pretty good. Okay, C. I'm gonna go around and label everything. So I got an angle here. Straight across from the 90 is hypotenuse. It's also the longest side is another way to think about it. Straight across from the other angle is opposite because it's opposite of the angle. And then the leftover is adjacent. Okay. So it looks like we have adjacent and hypotenuse. And hypotenuses are unknown. So this would be cosine. And I'm going to replace some variables with some known ones. Let's replace theta with 62 degrees. Adjacent is 3.3 and hypotenuse is x. Okay, so we have to get x up and out of there. So we're going to multiply both sides by x because we can't solve for it if it's on the bottom there. And now we have x cos 62 equals 3.3. Okay, now we're going to divide because we got to get cosine 62 away from x because we're solving for x and it's being multiplied, so we're going to divide. Always do the opposite on both sides. So the old saying is what you do to one side, you must do to the other. And then x equals 3.3 divided by cos 62. And I got x equals to one decimal place 7.0 centimeters. And looking at our triangle there, yeah, it looks roughly double the size of the adjacent. Yep, pretty reasonable answer. Okay. Now for question 3, we're going to be solving for the angle. So this is often the harder one for people, but it's going to start off the same way. We're going to label everything. Okay, so if they put a letter here, that means they want you to solve for it. Notice how the other vertexes don't have any letters. Okay, so hypotenuse has nothing. This is opposite. This is adjacent. Okay, so we have numbers for opposite and adjacent, which would be tan. Now, if we're solving for angle A, that means we're solving for theta. You can replace it with an A, but I leave it as theta. And 5.1 divided by 8.3. Okay, to solve for the angle, you're going to go second function tan, and this should pop up. And then in the brackets, you're going to go 5.1 divided by 8.3 and close off the brackets. Hit enter, and you should get the proper degree. Now, if you do this and you're not getting the right answer, you need to come see me because you could be in the wrong mode. If you're not in degree mode, you're probably going to get the wrong answer. So I got an angle of 31.6. So make sure you try that and check. Okay, B. We are looking for this angle over here. So we have opposite, and we got hypotenuse. We don't have adjacent. Okay, so we are doing sine. So sine theta. So I'm just using theta because that's the unknown. Opposite, 17.3 over hypotenuse, 25.8. And I'm going to go second function sine in my calculator and go 17.3 divided by 25.8. Close off the bracket in your calculator and hit enter. So 17.3 divided by 25.8, and we get 42.1. Okay, that's not right. I gotta see if I'm in the right mode. I might be in the wrong mode. 17.3 divided by 25.8. Oh yeah, no, that's right. Sorry. 42.1. There we go. Okay. So there's our angle. And no C on the next page. So we're looking for angle A. Here's the hypotenuse. Over here we got opposite and adjacent. Okay, so we got adjacent and hypotenuse. And we don't know the angle. So that is cosine. So cosine theta equals adjacent over hypotenuse. So 80.4, 129.5. Okay. Second function cosine. In your calculator, there'll be a bracket, and then go 80.4 divided by 129.5, close off the bracket, and hit enter. And the angle is 51.6. Okay. Again, if you're not getting some of the answers and you think it's calculator issues or you don't understand the second function part, make sure you come and see me. That is the end of Geometry Lesson 2, Part 2.